In this tutorial, we'll be making a power up. This should be a fairly simple one compared with the last tutorial. It's actually very similar to the collectibles, but there are a few new concepts that I want to introduce here. So let's start with our platformer again. So we'll just copy that and paste it there, and then rename it as T05. And we'll call this power up, and we'll open Godot, and we will import this new game, power up. So if we think back to our collectible, a power up is very similar in that we'll have something on the ground, and then when the player collides with it, we want it to disappear, but then we want the player to have some new powers. But everything until that point is the exact same as being a collectible. Make a new scene, and we're going to go other node, and that is going to be an area 2D. Okay, and we'll rename it as power up, and we're going to give it a sprite 2D as well as a collision shape 2D, and we'll give it our usual texture, default texture here. And as for the collision shape, we'll just make it the same as our sprite. All right, so good to go on the power up. We're going to give it a script, and then we're going to go over to the right panel, and in the node tab at the top, here we go. We got the signals here, and we're going to give the body entered signal, and we're going to connect it to the power up script. And so now we have this function appearing in the powerup.gd. All right, so in the body of the function, we'll delete the default thing here, and we're going to type if body.is in group player. So this should be pretty familiar. We've done this before. We'll go body dot. In this case, in the coin one, I think I put add coin, but this is a power up, so I'm gonna name my function power up instead, and then queue free it so that it disappears. All right, so at this point, we're going to go. Let's just save that, and power up.scene. Yep. So we're going to go into our player.gd, and we're going to make that power up func power up. And so what do we want to happen? Well, I guess often we'll have a faster jump or a faster movement and higher jump, something like that. You can choose what you want. I want to point out over here these variables for the speed and jump velocity. Right now they're constants, so they're denoted with a const. That means that they don't change, but I actually do want them to change, right? Because I want the speed to go from low to high. And so I'm going to make them vars instead. So vars, and actually I'm going to put in front of the var, I'm going to put @export. Do that with the other one as well. What that does is that actually takes us over. If you go and look at our player now, go to player scene and look in the inspector, we'll see it doesn't show up because let me just do Control S to save. I was expecting something to show up on the right here, but it's because I have an error, and so the code is not running properly. So I'm just going to put pass here for now, so that just gets rid of the error without doing anything in that function. And you can see that on the right hand side inside the inspector, I now have speed and jump velocity, and with those values that I gave it over here. And so doing that @export actually just puts it into my inspector, which is nice so that I don't have to always go into the code and change the values. So that's totally optional. You can or you can do that if you want. Just wanted to show you that feature. All right, so right now we have speed and jump velocity, all caps. By convention, when we had it as a constants are all caps, and so that's why they're all caps, but we changed it to vars. Technically, we should change it to lowercase, but then we also have to change like all the times when it is all caps in here. So I'm not gonna do that just because we have, this is like a simple, 10-minute tutorial. But if you were to do this change in your real game, you would want vars to be lowercase, not capitals. Okay, so let's now go down to the power up, and let's put in some code down here. So actually, to make it really obvious that we are making a big change, let's make the speed really slow and the jump really low, and maybe 300, yeah, initially, so that when we do get the power up, it's really obvious. And so all we have to do here is say speed equals say 1,000 and jump. No, as I said, we need all caps here, right? Speed equals 1,000 and jump velocity equals negative 900. Okay, so at this point, all we need to do is go to level 2D, and we'll put in with the chain icon, put in the power up, and there it is. Actually, I want to change the power up a little bit so that it is a bit smaller and maybe a different color. Go to my power up, and first we'll change the size. And change the color. Actually, let's change the color in the code. I want to show you how that might work. And so we'll go to the power up code, and we'll do func ready. Just to remind you, the underscore ready, this happens whenever the scene is created. It just runs all the code in here. It's kind of the prep work so that we can be ready to go. So as you recall, to kind of give it a little tint, usually in the inspector, we go down to visibility, and then there's the modulate, and then we can choose the color, right? In the code, what we would do is, so this is the powerup.gd. We want to change the sprite, so let's grab the sprite, put it in here, sprite2d dot modulate. So that's the name of the property, modulate. So we just can change it like this, and then equals color. And they're expecting inside the brackets our color, which is going to be RGB, red, green, and blue. So each value is between 0 and 1. So let's go all green. So 0 for blue, 1 for green, 0 for blue. Oh, sorry, 0 for red, 1 for green, 0 for blue. Yeah. And then they need one more number, which is the A, which is the transparency or alpha value. And so we'll just go 0.5 transparency, so it'll be like kind of half transparent. So 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0.5. And let's see if that does in fact turn it green. So we'll just save that. Everything is saved. Save that. Okay, and run the game. Okay, it's small and green. Oh, it went in midair. I'll have to change that, but you can see that I'm going slow and my jump is weak. I eat the, oh, whoops. Okay, I have body is in group player, but I didn't make the player group. So let's go to the player scene here. And as we recall, in the right-hand panel, we go to node, and then we go to groups, and then we add our player group, and we make that global. Okay, it's in there, checked off, and so let's try that again. Okay, and now we can go super fast, and we can jump way higher. All right, so that is it for Power Up, and so that's all for this tutorial, and see you in the next one.